Biao and Hong Wei have won one match apiece. Of course, Boa Mogensen haven't played at all. So whilst it says played, they haven't actually played. They withdrew before the group matches got underway. So, two of our matches complete here on day 2 of competition at the Super Series finals. Next up is the former champion Tai Tzu Ying up against a former world champion, Ratchanok Intanon. Then we'll have men's singles featuring last year's beaten finalist Victor Axelsen against Song Man Ho. Then we'll have the 3-time former champions Fischer Nielsen and Pedersen against the Olympic champions in the mix. And then we'll finish with a second women's singles. So here the women's singles players, the former champion Tai Tzu Ying, there she is, the world #1, the new world #1, against the former world #1 and former world champion Ratchanok Intanon. So as far as the women's singles group standings are concerned, this is Group A, and Tai Tzu Ying played against the left-hander Hebing Jiao. She won in 2 straight games, and Ratchanok lost her opening match against Sung Ji Hyung. So Sung Ji Hyung, as you can see, has played 2 and won 2. So for Ratchanok Intanon, well, she's in a situation that she really has to win against the former champion Tai Tzu Ying if she wants to qualify for the semi-finals.
This is the Dubai World Super Series Finals Women's Singles. Time to welcome the players. First up, the #1 seed from Chinese Taipei, Tai Tzu Ying.
The new world #1, Tai Tzu Ying. Well, she's been in 2 finals at the Super Series finals. She won the title here in Dubai in 2014, the first year that it was staged in Dubai, having been beaten in the final the previous year when the finals were staged in Kuala Lumpur.
And let's hear it for her opponent from Thailand, the #5 seed, Ratchanok Intanon.
The former world champion, the former world #1, Ratchanok Intanon, the #5 seed here at the Dubai Super Series finals. Hugely popular player all over the world, Ratchanok Intanon. And when she won the world title in 2013, became the youngest ever women's singles world champion.
Red, blue, red.
And if you're wondering exactly how old she was when she won her world title, she was 18 years, 6 months and 6 days. But that's not the youngest ever world champion. That was Jang Ayok from 1995 in the women's doubles with Gil Young Ah. But she has achieved extraordinary things as the #5 seed. Ratchanok Intanon became world #1 this year in April after 3 titles, 3 Super Series titles in 3 weeks in India, in Malaysia and then Singapore. It is the first time in the history of the Super Series that any singles player, and that of course includes the men's singles as well, to win 3 Super Series titles in 3 weeks. She's had her injury problems of late. In fact, she's been having some acupuncture in her knee, and her world ranking is currently, as you can see, 3 in the world ranking. Finished the year at number 5, having competed in 9 of the 12 Super Series tournaments. So to the new world number 1, enjoying her 3rd week as world number 1. 1st of December was the first time she reached that mark from Kaohsiung in Chinese Taipei, the 22-year-old Tai Tzu Ying. As I say, 2 finals at Super Series finals. And the extraordinary thing is that with 4 Super Series tournament finals this year, winning 2 of them in Indonesia and Hong Kong, was beaten in the final of Malaysia and Denmark. But earlier on in the year, she wasn't even seeded at Super Series events, and now the world number 1. Well, as you can see, this is the 13th meeting between the 2 players, but it is Ratchanok Intanon who has won the last 3, including that last one at the Malaysian Super Series, which, as I've just told you, Intanon went on to win the title there. That was 2 straight games in 39 minutes. So our umpire from India, service judge from Denmark, Fine Datan from India, and Christian Johannesson from Denmark. Well, maybe the 13th meeting between these 2 players of the previous 12. Exactly 50% of them have gone the full distance. Well, I'm going to be very interested to see how Ratchanok Intanon moves in this match,
right,
given her injury
Ratchanok
problems.
Intanon, Thailand. And on my left, Tai Tzu Ying, Chinese Taipei. Ratchanok Intanon to serve. Love all. Play.
So the former world number 1 nearest to us against the current world number 1. Just missed.
1.
Tai Tzu Ying, Steen, when she won her first Super Series of the year in Indonesia, wasn't seeded. 6 months later, here she is as world number 1.
Yeah, great effort, and I guess she must be the first female player from Chinese Taipei to reach number 1 in the world.
Absolutely correct.
We saw her earlier this year showing up for tournaments, more fit than ever.
Well, there's a challenge here. It's our first challenge of the day.
Out.
Match 3, first challenge. Called out by the line judge. Ratchanok Intanon obviously believes it caught the line. It was desperately close. I have to admit, I was a little bit surprised when the line call was made. But no, the line judge was absolutely right.
Yeah.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. 2-1. Play.
Well, that's nice.
3.
Now, Steen,
1.
I know that you and I have enjoyed watching these players many times, and I have a dilemma in my mind. Because they...
Only one.
Well, one of many.
Yeah.
But these, to me, are the 2 nicest players to watch in world badminton. Their racket skills and their easy hitting motion, the disguise that they manage to produce with those skills. I can't make up in my mind who's the favourite of these 2 players. They're just both a delight to watch.
They are delightful to watch. I have a couple of other players that I also think have excellent technique.
5-1.
but these two definitely are amongst the best, and the lucky thing is we don't have to decide. We can just enjoy the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's well played. From the start, we can see here that Ratchanok is seeming a little bit hindered in her, not exactly hindered, but she's just not moving fast enough. I don't think. One of the things is that when you're injured, I mean, when you start playing after the injury, then you can play. The problem is that you haven't been able to practice for a long time, and I think that's some of the things that we see, and the nature of the injury often determines how quick you regain your level. I think when both are totally 100% fit, Ratchanok has a little advantage due to a better reach than Tai Tzu Ying, but here I definitely would say that Tai has the advantage in this match.
Oh, indecision.
Good shot.
Cost a dear.
8-2.
Well, of course, the last two Super Series events of the year, Ratchanok Intanon withdrew or retired after just 4 points of her first match in China, and then withdrew from Hong Kong. So it's been a little while since she's actually had competitive matches. So that emphasises your point about even if the injury is completely recovered, and I do notice that she's still got strapping on that left knee. There's the difference, as we were talking yesterday, about being physically fit and match fit.
Yeah. Yeah, we discussed it when Lee Chong-wei was playing against Song Wan-ho.
Service over, 3-9.
There it is.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Service over, 10-3.
Yeah.
And it's a tough tournament to sort of make a comeback in, because you play the other 7 strongest players of the year in the Super Series, so it's not like you can sort of progress easily from the first round to the second and get a feel of it and so on. You have to be there from the beginning.
Yeah. Well, it's a handsome lead for the former champion, Tai Tzu Ying. A 7-point advantage. Yeah, not much to say.
No.
Yeah, and a little smile from Tai Tzu Ying.
Twenty seconds. 20 seconds.
I appreciate your point about the fact that there's no easy matches in the Super Series finals, and it's a tough event to make a comeback in. But for Tai Tzu Ying, for Ratchanok Intanon, you know, given the situation in the group, she has to win this.
Yeah.
She has to go for it, and And, you know, it's terribly difficult because psychologically you
12,
must be
4.
worried that if you push too much, the injury might reoccur or something.
Yeah, I totally agree, and that's why the coaching situation here, there's, in my opinion, two directions. One is to change something about your game in order to try and win the match, and the other way to go is to sort of conceive the match mentally and say, okay, just
13,
play
4.
on, use it as good match practice.
Yeah. Yeah, knowing the competitive spirit. Now, you see that movement.
Yeah.
Did you see that? That round the head movement, instead of landing on that left leg and pushing forward, she took a step back with her right leg to protect the left leg.
Yeah.
So I'm not convinced she's yet 100% fit.
She's definitely not.
No, and look at that again. Didn't know how to move, didn't know whether to turn and play the backhand.
And that probably means that it needs to go in the third direction. You can't really try to do a lot because
Service over.
that's not the
5,
style. You have, especially Ratchanok, she has a certain playing style, and she has to be able to execute that, in my opinion, to be competitive. And it's not about getting match practice. It's more about protect yourself.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't aggravate an injury or make it worse.
I was reading
6,
in one of the
14.
Thai newspapers that there's been a change of national coaches in Thailand, and the new coaches were saying, look, you've played too much in the past. And whilst we, as spectators and as badminton fans, marvel at her ability to win 3 Super Series singles titles in 3 weeks.
It's tough.
It's tough.
Yeah.
And it has, I believe, probably taken its toll. And I think they're thinking along the right lines.
Yeah.
We have to protect this youngster.
Service over.
I mean, for goodness sake, she's
15,
only 21.
6.
You know, she's got a long career in front of her, hopefully.
And we've seen it we've discussed it in earlier years with Lee Chung-wei, who was playing, in my opinion, way too many matches. He was playing all the Super Series. That's great for the support of the international circuit, but he was also playing a number of the Malaysian internal tournaments.
Yes. Yeah.
Where you play more matches a day.
16,
I can remember before
6.
one Super Series tournament, he actually played a mixed doubles with Woon Ki Wei, who we watched in the women's doubles yesterday.
Yeah.
And that was the week before a Super Series.
There was a reason for that, because I remember I asked Morten Frost whether it was just for fun or there was some reasoning behind it. I remember there was some reasoning behind it. I can't remember the reason. But,
Yeah, okay.
16.
but anyway, that's definitely something to consider. But it's also when you change national coaches or coaching team, you often change exercises. And that also is a situation where you have to be really careful, because if you start out too tough, you risk injuries with the players. So there's a number of situations that you really have to be careful in.
And when you say exercises, you mean the routines and,
Yes.
and the pressure situations
Yes.
that the coach would put the player on.
Sometimes different exercises, sometimes different intensity, sometimes
Yeah.
different length of time.
Service over. 8,
Yeah, that's a good point.
17.
Hadn't thought of that.
We've seen Tai. We've known for a long time that she was a strong player and a good player, and she's given us tastes of her ability, but she also suffered injuries from time to time, and
18,
this year she
8.
showed up more fit, in my opinion. Now she's able to cope with the stress of the tournament and the stress of the practice, and that's what gotten her to #1 on the world rankings.
Yeah. I think she's a leaner athlete too.
Exactly.
Look at that backhand, isn't that a delight? Yeah,
19,
tentative on the
8.
twisting and turning there. Ratchanok Intanon.
Service over. 9-19. Ten, 19.
Oh, look at that.
Service over. 20.
Looked to be under
Game
pressure.
point.
Taking the
10.
shuttle late in her forehand corner and just driving it across court. Earning herself game point opportunities. That's nice.
She read that. She read that.
She walked into
Service
it.
over. 11-20.
How to read the defence. Here we go. It's going wide.
12-20. Game.
So opening game to the world number
First
one.
game won by
Tai Tzu Ying.
Tai Tzu Ying. 21-12.
21-12. Confirms umpire Stefan. Five finals this year for Tai Tzu Ying, 4 of them Super Series. Also won her home Grand Prix gold event, Chinese Taipei Grand Prix gold.
嗱，唱我呢拉嚟㗎，我開起咩？我俾你睇過低邊媽嚟，好慢料㗎。
As did Ratchanok Intanon, she won her home Grand Prix gold event. Thailand Masters Grand Prix gold, beat Sun Yu in the final. I remember that final, that was a thriller, an hour and 27 minutes.
So did she actually win 4 tournaments in a row?
No, because that's Thailand Masters was before those 3 Super Series, weren't they? Or were they? Was it the week after?
Oh, it wasn't in a row.
No, I didn't think it was.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Thailand
Right.
Masters was in February.
I thought it was before the All England. All England was the first of the Super Series this year.
Second game. Love all. Play. One love.
Well, Ratchanok Intanon may be the youngest ever women's singles world champion, but Tai Tzu Ying, I believe, still holds the record as the youngest ever Super Series tournament finalist. Reached the final of the 2010 Singapore Super Series as a qualifier. She started the tournament as a 15-year-old and turned 16 on finals day.
Wow. Yes, I just started that sentence. I said,
love.
that can't be true, that can't be true, that must be Yamaguchi.
No, Yamaguchi is the youngest ever winner.
Yeah.
But the youngest ever finalist in women's singles is Tai Tzu Ying. Oh, look at that. She's got such deception.
3, love.
Look at that. So creative. Oh, well, she's just hitting winners at will at the moment.
4,
Yeah,
love.
and I think the problem for Ratchanok is that she's not capable of changing directions. She's totally stranded there.
Oh, that's outrageous.
5, love.
Under pressure because of your opponent's cross-court net shot. So you just flick it back across court. This is worrying, though, for all of us that are fans of Ratchanok Intanon, because she really is struggling at the moment, isn't she, physically, movement-wise?
She is, and I'm thinking, why is she continuing? I mean, she has no chance of winning this match.
No.
So hopefully it's because her knee is not getting worse. I don't see how it gets better here. Of course, it's match practice, but with the changes of direction, I mean, she doesn't even try, so I don't see that she has something to gain from this here, and I don't understand it from a coaching perspective. What she's doing here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Game down, 7-love down.
Yeah.
And struggling to move.
Service over.
1. I mean,
7.
what is she hoping to gain from this?
Yeah.
If Tai stays on both 2 feet throughout this match, then it's really hard to see how Ratchanok should win it.
2, 7.
Yeah, I understand all the theory, though, but, you know, as an athlete's team, when you get out on courts, instinctively, you keep fighting. You know, that's the nature of an athlete, isn't it?
What's now going on here? The umpire's just called for the referee.
Well, I did notice somebody was using a flash right on
maybe,
their camera.
maybe that's it.
Yeah. She can't change
Service
direction,
over.
can she?
No.
8, 2.
Yeah, I agree that when you play, you want to keep on playing and so on, and hopefully that's wise. If it's unwise, it's up to the coach to come with the right advice to your player.
Yeah.
Play.
We saw I think it was in 12 or something like that, when Bodhi Nisara and Manipong Jongjit was playing men's doubles together, that they were sort of limping through 3 matches.
Yeah.
Nobody gains anything from that.
What? 4, 8.
There's still glimpses of the fantastic technique that she's still got, Ratchanok. And yeah.
And that was better movement, wasn't it? That round the head movement there.
Yeah,
but more time.
Yeah, and she's got to put she put pressure on Tai on the shot previous to that, so she's got to go for the 50-50s.
My goodness, how did she miss that though?
9,
Tai Tzu Ying way out of position. A desperation shot. She did awfully well to get that back.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
There's always a fine balance because, I mean...
Did you see that movement, Steve?
Yeah, that was the... She was protecting her left leg.
Down into the deep backhand corner of Ratchanok. Very, very awkward movement. Take a look at this. Instead of pushing back, having landed on that left leg, once again, the right leg going back, taking an extra step. She's really protecting that left leg.
And the problem is that she's doing it
6-9.
in other areas of the court as well. It's just not as obvious, but she is. And that sort of risks injuring the right leg.
Yeah.
So it's a very fine balance whether you should play or not, because I mean, there's a saying that as a singles player, if you're not a little bit injured, then you're not practicing hard enough. So you got to distinct between these two situations.
Service over. 10.
It's a delightful drop shot, isn't it? Played with disguise, good accurate shot. Oh, yes.
Service over. 7-10.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. 12-5, rear court winners in favour of Tai Tzu Ying. Yeah, totally outmanoeuvred. Yeah. Lovely controlled play from Tai Tzu Ying. And a 4 points advantage. Having already taken the first game. Looks to be in cruise control at the moment, Tai Tzu Ying. Tai Tzu Ying, last tournament before the Super Series finals, the Hong Kong event, she won that one. And the last time, that was her second Hong Kong Open title. The last time she won that title, she went on to win the Super Series finals.
11-7.
She looks to be in good shape.
She does, doesn't she?
There's one other possibility that we haven't discussed regarding the injury of Ratchanok Intanon.
12-7.
I'm pretty certain it's not the case here, but sometimes we see players coming back from injuries, and they're physically recovered. They are ready to play, but mentally they're still afraid. So they hold back, and that can also look a little bit like this. I'm pretty certain this is not the case here, but we actually sometimes see that, for instance, after a ruptured Achilles or something like that, that the mental barrier is also a factor when coming back.
Yes, and from personal experience, I can testify to that. You're absolutely right, Steen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's landed in.
14-7.
Oh, plumb on the line. That's nice. You see, we're seeing glimpses of her brilliance, aren't we?
Service over. 8-14.
Oh, great deception from Tai Tzu Ying.
Service over. 15-8.
Yeah. It's so difficult even for fit opponents to see which way Tai Tzu Ying's going to play shots. When you're carrying an injury, it's nigh on impossible, because we've already seen the cross-court one that she's played earlier. Oh, well, there you go. There's the variation that I've just mentioned.
17-8.
Previous one down the line, we played with power. This one, beautiful cross-court drop shot.
Yep. It seems like she can't generate power on that left leg. Not really willing to stop on it on the back, in the backhand corner, and not able to push away from the middle of the court with it either. Ratchanok, and I don't know when she got that injury, but after those 3 tournaments, she was #1 in the world for a short while, and
2 weeks to be precise.
Yeah.
Yes, even coming forward to the net, she's bringing, that's nice. She's bringing the right leg up to help the left leg.
Yeah, yeah. Doesn't want to put any load on it.
No. Overdone it. That's the first time I've really seen Tai Tzu Ying out of position or off balance as she's played her shot. So accurate. She's played with such disguise. That's good. That's the sort of shot we're used to seeing from Ratchanok Intanon.
Service over, 19-12.
Oh, good defense. Not sure she knew too much about that.
No, she just tried to get out of the way.
Oh, that's lovely. That is lovely.
Service over, 13-19.
Just guides it across court.
Oh.
14-19.
You could see no confidence really in her movement around the head once again.
Match point.
Opportunities to close out the match for Tai Tzu Ying. Only needed the one. 21-12, 21-14. And that's 2 wins out of 2 for the #1 seed, Tai Tzu Ying. Having beaten the left-handed He Bingjiao of China in the first match here today against the former world #1 and former world champion Ratchanok Intanon. 2 straight games, 21-12, 21-14. So 32 minutes for that victory. She looked impressive to me. And the former champion from 2 years ago, in my book, is the player to beat this year once more. So with Tai Tzu Ying's victory, it's very simple in this group. Both she and Sung Ji-hyung played 2-1-2. So they will qualify for the semi-final knockout stage. And of course, tomorrow they will play off as to who will finish top of the group and therefore get one of the 2 seeded positions. Well, men's singles is coming up next, and last year's beaten finalists Victor Axelsen against So Man Ho, who caused a sensation beating Lee Chong Wei in yesterday's first group matches. After that, we will have mixed doubles, and the 3-time former champions from Denmark will take on the Olympic champions, and then we'll finish with a second women's singles. Well, of course, I mentioned that So Man Ho yesterday beat the 4-time former champion Lee Chong Wei. Well, today he recorded his first victory, and that was against Ng Ka Long of Hong Kong. And of course, both these players winning home events, Super Series events, earlier this year. Ng Ka Long, his first ever Super Series title, won at home in Hong Kong, but beaten today in his second match, beaten today by the 4-time former champion Lee Chong Wei. So Lee Chong Wei, after being beaten yesterday, records a victory today. So he's still in the hunt, no question of that. So, the players in the background. Last year's beaten finalist, there he is, tying up his shoelaces, Victor Axelsen against So Man Ho.